Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. Today I'll be talking about the progress on my choreography, and I have finally finished my dance, so I have a lot to say. So I want to talk a little bit about my own feelings towards the piece because it is personal. Believe I stated in my previous podcast that my piece is about spiritual warfare and what it's like to fight it. And sometimes you might not win, but that's your own choice, really. But I want to talk about my own feelings towards it, how I feel about the topic, and how what I hope is portrayed when it is performed. Yes. So personally, I think that spiritual warfare can come in many different shapes and sizes. I did not originally come up with this idea because I was going through spiritual warfare at the time, but while making the piece, I definitely tapped into my own experiences and my own feelings about it, about spiritual warfare, about losing a battle. And I think that it's a deep piece, and a lot of times dance can just look like dance, and I don't want this to look like dance. I want it to look like a story. So I hope when it is performed in this upcoming show, it is very touching. It is that my dancers can connect to it so that they can perform it and not just dance it. Because if it goes on stage with dancers just dancing, then it won't really portray spiritual warfare unless you read what it's about before you watch it. I think that is the most challenging part. It's trying to make it a story and something people can connect to, not just the dancers connect to it, but the artists, because I think that I may speak what I want, but it doesn't always come across to other people. It doesn't always translate to them, which I mean, I can only say what I know, but I'm trying to come up with ways to better communicate it so that my dancers can better communicate it, so that the audience can better receive it. And ultimately, I'm not too pressed to have the audience say this dance is about spiritual warfare deep and say, oh, this she's fighting demons, she's fighting her sin. She's fighting her sin in her flesh. I mean, yes, you could look at the title and see it says flesh and blood. But I wanted to just feel the weight of the battle. You don't necessarily need to know objectively that it's spiritual warfare, but I still want to portray you're fighting through something, you're fighting your way through something. And yes. But this process has also been really rewarding because I see how my choreography has evolved, and how even though this is really the second piece that I'm choreographing the way that it is, because I've choreographed pieces in the past, but they've never been like well thought out, like really truly tapping into me as a choreographer. It was just for this, I was told to make something, so I made it, or it was for cheer, and cheer doesn't really have story, it's just movement for entertainment. So I really get to tap into who I am as a creator and draw from from different inspirations, different people who inspire me, different things that inspire me, my own life experiences, which I think makes it's what it's all about. It's what I do it for. It's why I want to be a choreographer, so that I can tell stories, whether it's my story or somebody else's story who they can't tell their story, so I'm the vessel they tell it through. It's really encouraging to be able to put feelings into movements and make choreography into a whole message. I think that when I first started this piece, I knew it was going to be about spiritual warfare, but I didn't really have a clear vision for the piece. I didn't know how it would turn out. So I think it's evolved a lot. In the beginning, it was kind of all three dancers going through spiritual warfare on their own and just dancing their way through it together. But as I choreographed more, I realized it would benefit the story better if I highlighted one dancer as the one going through spiritual warfare and the other dancers as the sin or the demons that she is fighting. And that I came to that conclusion with the help of feedback from dramaturgy and talking with my professor, and that helped me revise a lot. That helped me revise what I needed to revise, which now it clearly has like a distinct storyline and not just a theme. I would like to close with the idea that I create because I was first created, which is something that I've been holding deep lately and that I've been wanting to connect to as I am creating. But I think that God has always been my inspiration and my encouragement. So when I think about any topic that I create, I think about, does this honor my identity in Christ, and how can I honor God with this piece moving forward? Like creativity is how I feel closest to God, and I think by honoring that and by by being true to myself and my lived experiences and being honest about them can help me connect to other people, to his other creations, and that is how I envision myself as an artist. Thank you for watching this podcast. I hope you come back for more, and I'll see you next time.